If it's going to be anything Juneteenth, it better be made by black hands. If it's going to be anything Juneteenth, it better be made by black hands.
If it's anything Juneteenth, it has to be by black hands. Welcome to the first episode of the Financial Independence Project. I was very, very intentional with releasing the first episode on Juneteenth. This first episode is really just going to be an introductory, give you guys an idea of what this podcast is about, and let you know how it came about, why I decided to take my time out to do this. And through this, I think you guys will start to see a different side of me. I think, right now in the age that we're in, 2024, so many people are just creating content to blow up, to make a lot of money. That's not my cup of tea. If you want to, use me as a resource, if you want me to leverage my connections that I've made for almost a decade to help you get in a better position, great. But I think that's probably been most evident with the one thing I've been most proud of, my most recent accomplishment with releasing a book. I only told close friends, family. I didn't do a marketing campaign. I didn't put any advertising dollars behind it. I just wanted to have it out there for anybody who comes across it who was looking for it. I want to be, I've always said, a resource. Let's grow together. I did at one point, come to this false understanding that I have to do what I'm good at and make it my passion and make it my business, and it really, really brought me back to a couple of conversations that I've been having with a lot of different people. One of which is, my CEO, my manager, my upline. And he saw that I came out the gates killing it. And then after the fact, he was like, yo, why'd you take your foot off the gas? You need to start putting more content out there. And, I'm knowledgeable. And I started having these same conversations with myself, and I didn't have an answer. And it was actually with my therapist that I really realized that I might need to just do this. And I think it's relevant to bring up because most of us, millennials or generations that come after, it could be generations before, but really that's where I see this affect a lot of people, where we have this false understanding or false reality that we need to marry our purpose or our passion with our gifting. And a lot of people couldn't even tell you the difference. But the best way that I could really describe this was with my personal understanding, and this goes way back to when I was young, and I mean like 8 years old. So when I was 8, my mom used to throw me in every single activity she could think of because she wanted me to find what I liked. And at the same time, she wanted me to see what I was good at. And I was by far the best in soccer. I was the best sweeper, best line of defense that you could see. And our team went undefeated for multiple years. I mean, I'm talking 8 years old to like high school. I was in 8th grade getting varsity tryouts, and I just hated it. It got to the point where I just hated soccer. I was gifted in it, but hated it. Everybody knows I love basketball. That was my passion. I literally gave up soccer to play basketball, and they're 2 different seasons. It makes no sense because now as an adult, 30 years old, and I'm looking back, if I used my gifting, it could help me with my passion. It could have helped me with my purpose. It could help me with the lifestyle that I want. What if I continued playing soccer, and I got a scholarship, a sports scholarship, not only academic. If I got both and I was able to go to school debt free, I wouldn't have to worry about student loans. So that was one thing that really made me think like, okay, Elijah, you may not have a passion to create content, but if you're gifted at it and it can help you, and what's so beautiful about this as opposed to soccer, it doesn't just help me. I can help other people. And some of the greatest stories that I had was helping other people. When I look back at my career and what I've been able to do, there was one lady I'll never forget. I was saving her over $950 a month, over $11,000 a year, doing the same exact thing she was doing before she spoke to me. She cried on the phone. when we got that approval for her. She wrote me a letter that I still have. She was in California. It was beautiful. You know, I've been able to help somebody who's just 3 years older than me turn his 28-year mortgage into 9 years. And I'm saving him money month to month. I've been able to turn people's $28,000 into $456,000 and turn that into tax-free retirement income. You know, I have so many different stories where I'm able to help people, and I have helped people. You know, I got to the point where, you know, because this really isn't my passion, it's just really more in alignment with my gifting. I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't want to convince you. If you don't want to be convinced, then fine. I'll just apply for myself. You know, the most recent thing that I did was get my life insurance license, which was a couple years ago. And I was learning about it, and I had to wait to get my approval because I had to clean a couple of things up, which maybe we'll talk about one day. And I was content. After I got my own personal infinite bank that I talked to you guys about, I'm like, listen, I don't have to convince you. If you don't want it, fine. I know I'm set up. And I realized that's selfish because I was holding my gift into myself. So I'm hoping with this podcast, this financial independence project, I'm hoping that I can help other people become financially independent. I'm hoping that it can help me live in my purpose. And I'm hoping that I could really be a benefit and a resource to other people. You know, so I have strategically mapped out 26 episodes. The structure of this is going to be one episode every other week. Okay, this will be on most platforms where you can find a podcast. Definitely on YouTube if you want the visual. And then on the weeks that we don't have a podcast, I'm planning to do a live Zoom. All of this is free. You don't have to worry about any, you know, cost at the end. This is literally, I don't need anything from you guys. If you like the information, if you haven't been exposed to it, if you have questions, I'm accessible. That's really all this is about. So, yeah. So what is financial independence? That is different for everybody. The way I look at it is that I'm no longer reliant on another entity, another job, corporation to dictate my lifestyle, my choices, my time.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Because I think that's really the most important thing. Everybody just wants to be free with their time and be able to do what they want to do. So we're going to start talking about we're going to go from basic, which will be coming out next week, to very advanced. And because some people don't even know how to budget. So if we don't even know how to budget, how the heck are we going to talk about these high level strategies? So I'm really hoping that this can be put together in a way that's understandable. I'm not talking over anybody's head, but I'm not going to sugarcoat anything at the same time. So, you know, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. So please keep that in mind. I did not get that additional license. I have thought about it. This is just somebody in the financial industry who is giving their experiences, giving some knowledge away. And please do your own research. I'm not responsible for decisions that you make. If you talk to me, it's completely different. But don't come back and say, Elijah told me to go do this. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is just a platform for you to do research. This is a platform for you to be exposed to something that you may not have been exposed to before. All right. And when looking at all this, like, what really is my mission? I want you guys to know my mission before we close out this first episode. My mission with this financial independence project is to begin to close the wealth disparity using the security of insurance contracts. Close the wealth disparity. So we all know that Black people here in America, we are $1 trillion people annually, but we have some of the lowest net worth. And I want to change that. Not through these ideas of fixing and flipping, not through these ideas of, you know, of getting a bag real quick, because that's all we focus on. I want to show you guys security, a game plan, a roadmap. If you follow, you know you'll be here. There's nothing that could put a dent into your plan other than you. And a lot of people want to know what security really is. A lot of people are more willing to, you know, deal with that first. And I think you should deal with that first. I think you should have a secure plan in place where if something doesn't go right with your risk, you still have something to fall back on. And if it goes up, then great. Your risk, if you took a chance and it worked out, then beautiful. It just builds on top of what you've already been building. And I want to help you guys get in a position where you're comfortably able to take risks. So my mission is, again, to close the wealth disparity using the security of insurance contracts, because that's the thing that since I've been in the industry for almost a decade, it has been by far the most secure financial tools that I've seen. I mean, there's so much more that we can do now. Look for, be aware of. And I also want to talk to you guys about the myths that have been posted, the myths that you guys see on social media. And I'm not going to tell you anything from really my experience. I'm more fact-based. And that's what I'm going to try to give you, facts. I'm going to show you math. I'm going to show you how does this actually work. And that's why I chose the podcast, because some of these conversations need to be more long form. I can't do this on a short. I can't do this on a reel and give you guys the real. I can't do it. So I'm really hoping that we can all grow together. I'm really hoping that you guys will find value in some of these conversations, you know, and if you do find value, you know, I always say share this information, because that's the pitfall that I fell into. I was very selfish with this. I have dug myself, I just was talking to my mom and pop. I just dug myself out of a hole that I've been dealing with for about 3 years. I've been putting things in place. You know, I've been reading, I've been studying, I've been disciplined, I've been doing the things that I need to do. But I was selfish with this. And I don't want to be selfish with this anymore. I literally 3 weeks ago, going on 4 weeks ago, I put the shovel into that hole. And it's done. It's filled. I'm in a much better place now. So if you feel like you can benefit somebody of a conversation that we had, a conversation that you heard, maybe it doesn't affect you specifically, send that over to them. Share this video. Like, comment, you know, help others be able to see this, because I promise you, this has very little to do with you coming to me. It has everything for you to be in the position that I'm in now, to be in control of your situation. And like I said, sometimes it takes a while. My personal experience took 3 years. And I still have some other things that I want to take care of, but those 3 years have lifted a weight off of my shoulders to where I can begin taking risks, to where I can begin to really make a life for myself. And I'm so grateful, because I really wanted to do this before I was 30. And I was able to free up a good amount of money month to month before I was 30. So I'm very grateful. I want to share with you some of the strategies that I've been taking advantage of. And please share this with the young folk. I want those to, because what I've learned, the number one thing that I've learned, so this is the first nugget. The number one thing that I learned is the more time you have with these products, the better the result. I don't mind helping somebody who's 50 years old, because they still have time to go ahead and change their situation. But if I could help somebody who's 18, if I could help somebody who's 16, 17, flip the switch on for them early, by the time they're my age, they have 12 years of planning. They have 12 years of strategy. They have 12 years of guidance. And that's what I really want you guys to understand. I had this conversation with my sister earlier today. Find a mentor. A mentor will condense the time for you to learn what you need to do. I'm not saying you're not smart enough, but why spend that extra time learning it yourself when you could... Ian said, Do you want to be right, or do you want to win? And a lot of us have this ego. A lot of us have this pride where we want to be right so bad. We don't care about the winning. I'd rather do it on myself. I'm doing it from, grabbing up by my bootstraps. I did it from, 0 to 100. Started from the bottom, now I'm here. So what? So what? So what if you started from the bottom and now you're here? You're looking like me. I've had this mindset since I was 26. I'm 30. And I didn't look for mentors until maybe a year or two ago. And if I didn't look for those mentors for a year or two ago, I probably wouldn't be until I was 35 before I got to where I'm at now. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. And I'm not asking you to invest in anything other than your time. So nevertheless, guys, this is the first episode of Financial Independence Project. If you're psyched up, if you're excited, if you're ready, like I said, we're going to start from base level 0. If you don't know anything about finances, we're going to go ahead and start with level 0, and we will work our way up towards high level planning, tax-free retirement. If you have a mortgage, how can we knock that down? If you want to refinance, I'll give you so many different options. If you want to look at an alternative method, if you want to look at tax-free retirement planning, if you want to, I have so much in store for you guys. I hope that you're ready. But guys, thank you so much. If you got to the end of this, I love you. I want to say let's grow together, and I cannot wait to see and hear from you of what you were learning. Peace.